not acceptable that anybody ever creates, violence towards anybody, but especially our employee. And so, again, it's very important for us to reiterate to you that if you have any uncomfortable encounters with them or any concerns, let us know right away. Dawn, let Dawn know right away. They should go to Maria.
Erica, I'll throw in one thought, and of course it's your discretion. I mean, if you have an encounter with these people that, I presume that you would call the police if you felt threatened, but, do whatever you need to do to be safe and feel safe with them. I mean, don't, if you're getting cornered by them again, then call the police. Yeah,
we definitely want you to feel empowered to be able to take care of yourself and your safety. Your safety is paramount to us. So again, if there's anything that comes up with that household that you want to let us know about, please let us know right away. Otherwise, we will expect and assume that they are taking any and all communications to Maria. We will be following up from our side with our legal team and working through that. And if there is anything else that you think of that you want to request or talk to us about that you would appreciate, then please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know. And yeah, so is there anything else that you have a captive audience here? Is there anything that you want to say or that you remember that you want to bring to our attention?
I just want to make sure that I do reiterate what is the very real threat that I remain faced with as I'm working here. Because again, it's not just Gabriel, it was also his family. Okay, so his daughter also engaged in a battery, and his other daughter, they were all like pursuing me. So this is some clearly unfounded animosity and aggression that maybe they've been harboring it for a while. I don't know, but that's a real threat. So I understand everything that you're stating, but I do want to be clear. Me being in my leasing office, I don't even have a peephole outside of my leasing door, so I don't know who's outside of the door before, when they're knocking. I mean, there's anyone that can just come into the office. And so in the same way that they openly engaged in this act of violence, and for literally making up a reason to do so, all I'm stating is that could easily happen again. So while I am both living here and working here, it is a threat, and it's a real threat, in other words. So I understand what you're stating with calling the police, but typically that's an afterthought. This is something that I'm seeking to avoid beforehand, which is why I'm definitely bringing it to your attention. And and it's not just Gabriel, it's his whole family, because they were all a part of that scene. All of them, and my seeing them is a threat to my safety, and it's clearly even suggesting that I have to encounter them, which that's not what you said. I understand what you're stating, that they're going to deal with Maria, but I want to make sure that you understand it was his whole family. It was all of them, not just Gabriel. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm not sure if this is something that you would like to do, but if you would like to work out of Duarte Park for a time, we could arrange that. If you would prefer to, your 8 to 5, work from another location, we could arrange that. That's something that about. I just want to, make that offer to you, that if it would make you more comfortable to not be at the property doing, your daily duties, if it would make you feel more comfortable to be at a different location, we can work that out. So I'll let you, that, and if that's something that, make you feel more comfortable, we can definitely arrange that.
So I do thank you for communicating that, and I recognize that to always be a part. Like going to Duarte is a part of my job. So, and if there's something that I need, I can go there and speak with at any time. As of late, though, I don't know if I told you guys, but my car was broken into. And so my license was stolen, and so I'm still in the process of getting my driver's license back. So that's the only reason why I haven't like driven off the property for like 2 months. But other than that, I do appreciate your bringing that up as a reminder. But I understand that fully. I get that. I do want to state this too, though, to both of you guys, because I dealt with you when I was a temp with Jay Williams, and you guys were both showed, you were enthusiastic about bringing me on to work with speaker companies, and I was equally enthusiastic and very appreciative. You guys were very accommodating, and I am that same person, and I am fully in the role that I've been hired to do, and I am not typically one to shy away from that responsibility, especially when I'm the one that has been harmed and I have not done anything wrong. And so while I understand,
Absolutely.
okay, so
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
don't.
stating, I just want you to know that I have in every sense of the word, I have every intention to do my job, and I feel as though it's my right to be able to do my job and not feel threatened, by a resident who's engaging in what are senseless, violent acts.
I
And so,
completely agree.
okay, so that's what and I just want you to
Yeah,
know that I am that dedicated to doing my job. That's what I want to do,
yeah,
so.
of course. Yeah, no, we recognize that. I mentioned that just in case it would make you feel better not to be at the property. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah, I get
Um,
it.
yeah, so that's just an offer. But another thing is, and I'm sure you're fully aware that this is an option, but you can always file a restraining order.
Mhm.
So that's a personal decision that you can evaluate if that's something. That's why I was kind of wondering if you filed a police report, because I wasn't sure if having a restraining order is something that you would consider helpful.
Mhm.
So those are decisions that um, you know I'm sure that you're aware of your options
Mhm.
legally, but to make you an offer to remove you from the property, just if that made you feel better. We're not in any way suggesting for you to not be there. We just
Right. And I'm not
in
taking it that way. I'm
case
not
it
taking
makes
it
you
that way
more
at all.
comfortable. Yeah, in case it makes you more comfortable just not to be there.
Mhm.
And then the other, as a personal protection, there's always the restraining order avenue. So, and then of course, like I said, if you think of anything else after our conversation, we're here. You can
Mhm.
reach out anytime if you come up with an idea that you think would help to make you feel more secure at the property. Feel free to reach out to us.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just gonna, I would circle back, and I get it. You started your the process already, and I am not giving legal advice. But what I understand to
Mhm.
be the option is because they are, as an affordable housing recipient, they've engaged in what was an act of violence, which is in violation of the law. And also, literally,
Mhm.
under the terms of a lease, you're engaging in something that we can exercise our rights as the landlord to remove them just on the face of engaging in what is an act of violence against the landlord. That's what my suggestion is, and that's why I brought it to your attention, because I understand that to be a valid option. And this is not giving any
Mhm.
legal advice, but that is what
Mhm.
I see to be absolutely necessary under the circumstances, because it's intolerable for any resident manager to be faced with that in the workplace, and that's what it is. And this was, I mean, the boldness. It wasn't just it's not just the fact. I mean, it was just so, it was perplexing in every way, and that is something that, like, they should be plucked out of the property. And I am the most reasonable, because I can sit up and have a conversation with Don, and we can discuss like what happened, and I can empathize with the other person's position. Okay, of course you're going to get emotional about being fearful about getting a 3-day notice. I can understand that, but that's not what this was. And this
Mhm.
is why I'm stating, under these circumstances, absolutely they should be removed. And that's really where I stand with that. So,
Well,
you
and
know.
that's we're gonna pursue that, Erica. That is not an instantaneous solution, unfortunately, and it's going to take time to work through that process. But we're going to do it
Mhm.
as and expeditiously as we can.
Mhm. I understand. I understand.
So, okay. Well, do you need medical attention? Do you need to go to the doctor? You have workers' comp available. We'll pay all the bills. We definitely, if there's anything that you need, don't hesitate, to go do that. Okay.
Okay.
Um, And then, of course, you know, like I said, any other thing that you think of or want to talk to us about, don't hesitate to reach out as we work through all of this.
Absolutely. And thank you very much.
Eric-
I appreciate both of you guys. Yes, go ahead.
Erica, I'm going to get a letter out to the household, reiterating my instruction to not contact you, to
Okay.
just so black and white for them.
Mhm.
And time, if they do contact you, you know, ignore it at your discretion. Advise them to contact you, and notify me.
I
Afterwards if you
will.
would.
I will, and I want to make that clear. I hope you know that I if they were to, there's no way I'm going to respond to them. I'm not responding to them.
Yeah, understood. Understood.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Erica, for your time, and we're here just a phone call away if you need us.
Okay, thank you guys so much. You guys have an excellent day, okay?
You too. Thank you, Erica.
Uh-huh. Bye. All right, so I do want to document something. The entity was aiming engineered light right here all across my ceiling while they're listening to me recite facts to them that they're already aware of. All right, this is audible activity. They are monitoring me. They're monitoring me in the side of the private space. The entity is exceedingly hostile because of all the facts that are in my favor. The entity, and as I'm reciting them, facts that they are already aware of, and there's no way that this entity can try to twist it or make it something else. This is what the entity does. Okay, this is how you get to criminal defamation. This is how you get to what is kidnapping, making up information. But for documentation. That's why you don't hesitate to document. Do you understand that? So this is what the entity's doing, though, while they're documenting and they know the answer. This is how an entity, the passive-aggressive entity that's hostile to you, while you're having a conversation with corporate that's in Palo Alto, the entity's flying over your office, flying over your apartment in a helicopter, while you're having a conversation about information that they already know the answer to, hoping, thinking that maybe they can find somewhere. You can. It's solid, okay? You attacked me. You had no basis to do so. Your animosity, your assumption, and your violence, all of it, even in your alternate universe, is absolutely illogical and unfounded. And so, yes, you need to be kicked out based on your violation of your own federal housing policies, but they don't even know. Everybody that's getting Section 8 right now, they're done with that program, and this is going to be recognized under federal law. Being a group stalker shall be the permanent disqualification from receiving federal housing, and any property where it's the facilitating venue, they will be disqualified from being able to participate and provide that housing benefit to any community. So I want to be clear. The entity, as you saw me point out on my screen, I typed it out. The entity was aiming engineer light. Just like the engineer light that I showed you. Let me see if I have a picture. You can look at it. You've seen this before inside of my apartment in the morning time. This is when the entity is doing that. It has nothing to do with actual sunlight, obviously. I'm just giving to what's the schedule of this demonic light. The entity tends to do this in the morning, obviously when I'm physically indisposed, when I'm in the shower, when I'm walking around undressed. The entity is molesting my person and aiming all manner of what is demonic and impossible light activity inside of my apartment, which is an ongoing communication of the fact that you're under surveillance. And this is also while you're physically indisposed. This is something that is psychologically tormenting to the ordinary targeted individual while you are indisposed inside of your private space, subject to that constructive presence, that invasion of privacy by virtue of seeing that light. So let me show you. I've gone into the afternoon. Hold on. I want you to look at it because this is what is the light that's appearing on my ceilings in my bedroom while I'm having a conversation with them. And it is the pattern of conduct. It's, you know, this is the type of thing, though, when you're prosecuting. So this light activity, but it's more so. So this is what you're seeing inside of my bedroom, this light activity, and this is my second bedroom, this light activity. It's moving across. This was captured in the morning on the 7th, 2024. So inside of my bedroom, the light activity that you see stationary, it was moving all around, right around here, moving all around while I'm having a conversation with third parties on the video of the internet. They're all monitoring and the entity is hostile. Not only is this light activity present for criminal surveillance and federal stalking on the video of the internet via communication devices, the demon possessed also engage in this criminal conduct. They maintain this demonic environment as a show of hostility. The entity will show you that they're demons while they pace around in a helicopter for an extended amount of time. Not only because they're monitoring, because they're group stalkers, to demonstrate the fact that they're demons, they also do that to show hostility. They'll engage in the same pattern of conduct to communicate hostility, to communicate anger and aggression. And it's terrorizing to you. And so this is what I'm subject to while I'm on the phone with them. I want to make sure I document that. That was Don Naugle and Heather TEAL. This is corporate. They are also monitoring me on the internet, asking me questions that they know the answer to. This is a text message operation on my communication device. Is your internet back on yet? Okay, Spectrum is the people of the state. Speaker Companies is the people of the state. Selena Robledo is the people of the state. I am talking to the entity on the phone, and the entity is text messaging me at the same time. The entity is aiming engineered light inside of my apartment. The entity is monitoring while the light source is over my apartment right now. And this is all within the pattern of conduct. I also want to speak to the pattern of conduct that's underway while they call me. So the moment that I am logging onto my laptop computer, which is connected to the internet in order to continue working on my podcast, immediately the entity is calling on the phone, which is again pursuant to that criminal monitoring conduct that's occurring on the venue of the internet. Creating activity. You're creating activity via the operation of a communication device as well. So they're calling at the same time that I am in operation of my computer, logging on to my hotspot, because I still do not have internet, which is a threat to my life while I'm subject to the pattern of conduct. And there is no claim or any intent to validate, oh, we actually did have an outage, where the government is keeping you under surveillance and publishing that evidence of that criminal pattern of conduct by a corrupt government that has the ability to physically harm you, kidnap you, defame you, hide you away and make up documentation, and then literally just wipe you off of the record so that you're absorbed into the system, sitting in a facility somewhere. It's an ongoing emergency, and anything that is impeding upon an ongoing investigation, which is initiated upon documentation, and it is necessarily published on the venue of the internet. Why? Because the courts are not any venue where you will get any redress of your concerns, because the court is monitoring you. The court is a facilitating venue. And so you're understanding where you're monitoring, you have no business doing that in the first place. So if you do suffer any internet outage or some inability to access it, the entity that's monitoring you is not actually having any genuine failures, okay? Because they're still group stalking, they're still engaged in federal stalking while you are supposedly suffering from some failure of internet, okay? In addition to that, that threat to your life, wherever my bill is paid, and a third-party group stalker talking about you didn't have internet service, that's not my problem. I'm going to prosecute you for that because that's a threat to my life where you have no business keeping me under surveillance in the first place. All right. And this is an entity that makes up the information as they go. You have an internet provider making up the information in order to substantiate what is a genuine. None of that matters. None of it matters. It's within the pattern of conduct. So anyway, I just want to document that it's 2:41 p.m. and it is still Friday, May 10, 2024. This is P.O.C.